Hey guys, it's Chad from CNR Reviews. I'd like to actually do a comparison video today of the Glock 26 concealed carry versus the Bersa 380 concealed carry and the Bersa 380 standard. Ryan and I have both carried the Bersa 380 standards, and Ryan's going to continue to carry his Bersa 380 standard. I initially had looked into a little bit stronger round, a little bit harder punching round, and that is the 9mm round. That's what the Glock 26 shoots. And for the Glock 26's category, there's actually a lot of really good guns. But the issue I ran into is if I want to have a small 9mm, a lot of those guns are close to $700 or more to get a good one. And that includes the Car PM9. Yes, I know they have the cheaper CM9 version, but in my area I can't find one. The Car PM9 is like $650. The SIG, the new SIG 9mm they got out, I don't know, it's the P something. It's really thick. It's just as thick as the Glock. And yes, it is very small, but it's like $750, almost $800. So I decided to go out, and I had actually sold my other 9mm, my Stoeger 8000, and I purchased the Glock 26. I purchased this gun for $550. You can get these guys for $250 to actually about $299 to $250, depending on what versions you want to get. So about $300 for those, $550 for the Generation 4. Let's just go ahead and do a real quick size comparison. Glock 26 versus the Bersa standard. If you line up the barrels, there we go. You can see the Bersa 380 is actually longer because of the dovetail. That was very interesting to me. As far as width, if we include the slide release, the width of the gun is only about a 1/4 inch of a difference or less. Yes, the slide is thinner here, but if we have the slide release too, it actually is quite a bit thicker with that slide release. Now the Glock is thick all the way through, so as far as concealing in a pocket, you may have a little bit more printing. Thickness, yes, the Glock is going to be thicker. But here's what you're getting because of that thickness. You're getting a 10-round mag or more, which by the way you can get like +1 or +2 base plates on there that will be able to carry 13 rounds if you add one in the chamber. You get 7 rounds +1, so you're talking an 8-round capacity on this standard 380. I understand that yes, you can buy the higher capacity Bersa 380, but when you do that, you're adding the thickness to it, and it's as thick or thicker than the Glock 26. So let's go ahead and let's compare it to the Bersa 380 concealed carry. Now this gun is shorter. Let's line up barrels, and as you can see, it's about a 1/2 inch shorter. Thickness, well, I'll tell you what, because I put the Marshall grips on there, they're quite a bit thicker. If I include the thickness, guess what? It's almost as thick, if not thicker. So that is kind of a thing as far as printing goes. I've seen it myself. If I put it in my jacket, you can kind of see the outline of the grip. So there you go. And what am I trading off as far as firepower goes? Well, the concealed carry carries 8 rounds. It's got an 8-round mag and +1 in the chamber, so 9 rounds. Now the difference between the rounds as far as speed goes is the 9mm round is going to have more force. It's going to have more foot-pound of force, from the muzzle, which is going to incorporate that all the way through to hitting the person. So if you're at a 21-foot range, 7 yards, the 9mm round is going to punch harder. The speed is faster on the 9mm. The 9mm round has about, let's see, a plus P1 can go anywhere between 1,250 feet per second all the way up to almost 1,500 feet per second. These guys are lucky to push 1,050 feet per second. So that's really the difference. And I know, with the Glock, you have great reliability through all these guns. Just to throw it out there, and I don't want to piss anybody off with the cars or any of those, but I've heard a lot of issues with the Car PM9 and CM9, and also with the SIG itself. as far as reliability issues, especially with the car. You got to have a huge break-in period. You know, this is a Glock. These things are tried and true. They've been around for a while. I took it to the range, 150 rounds down range, not one hiccup. I know there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to go, I've had my car and I've shot 500 rounds, not one hiccup. And that's fine. But I've heard other horror stories. So I just want to throw that out there. If you're looking at a car, and I know the car is really small, it's smaller even than this, but you can carry this. This is not going to be that big of a deal. Now, they make holsters for all these guns. They make shoulder rigs for all these guns. So there's different ways to carry them. And I carry this one in my pocket now. I've carried this one in my pocket. Ryan carries this one in his pocket. So, I mean, these guns are not too big. And I don't consider myself an extraordinarily large person either. So I can
I'm
carry...
freaking huge.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, Ryan's a bigger guy as far as, weight-wise goes. And even with him carrying, he doesn't print with this. So you can really get away with some really interesting firepower. Is a 380 going to be better than a 9mm? It's all preference. You shoot somebody in the head, I don't think it's really going to matter. You shoot them in the chest, you hit a heart shot or lung shot, guess what? It ain't going to be it's not going to matter. But the catch is your bullet going to penetrate deep enough to hit the vital organs? And that's where I believe the 9mm will. So, we're going to be doing some ballistics testing on these just to kind of get a better idea and see if, in fact, the 9mm does perform better. But this is the Glock comparison to the Bersa 380s. It compares favorably, as far as I'm concerned. It's basically in between the size of a Bersa 380 standard and a Bersa concealed carry. So check it out if you have turned away from it. It's a sweet gun, and thanks a lot for watching. This is Chad from CNR Reviews. Have a great night.